going to do that. Okay. There is that little sign. Okay. So, welcome. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining. I'm just muting so it doesn't go into my microphone. Okay, so let's find a seat that is comfortable. Take a moment here to settle in your support first. Feel your sitting bones resting, surrendering together, of course, with your pelvis and your legs. If you want to spread the flesh of your buttocks, moving them back and out, it can be helpful to feel your base a little more pounded onto your support. The shoulder heads, we move them gently back and down. And we elongate through the crown of the head. We are welcoming ourselves to practice, checking in, noticing not only physical sensations that we are bringing with us, but also how is our mental state, our emotional state. And we know that we are welcoming all of it to this journey without judgment, inviting this practice to be a practice where we keep learning how to balance. Balance not only physically, but balance with our breath, trying to observe our emotions, trying to come to a place of joy and peace. And like we always say in this yogic journey, we are practicing on the mat what we want to take off the mat later on. And a lot of it has to do with releasing and emptying. And our last week's session, we did a little bit of this work or this practice in our meditation of shedding. Perhaps you remember. So we talked a little bit about shedding the old skin. And today I'm going to go a little further into that same idea by inviting you to, again, perhaps sit first and with your breath, think or revisit what is it that feels like it's dead skin inside of you that you are ready to release. But as I said, today we are going a little further than that. So perhaps you're bringing back the same thing that you thought of last time around, or maybe it's something new, something that it's now around you and you can pick it up easily or find it right away, that it's something that it's kind of like this dead thing that it's stuck and you want to perhaps start this process of releasing. So as we go a little further, we try and ask ourselves, what voices are asking you to keep your old skin and not change? Again, as we usually do, this is a practice of observation and awareness. So nothing else that you need to do other than recognizing perhaps those voices, okay? And last question here, what is the cost to you for not renewing your connection with all that is eternal? when we cease to shed what's dead in us in order to soothe the fear of others, we remain partial. When we cease to surface our most sensitive skin simply to avoid conflict with others, we remove ourselves from all that is true. When we maintain ways we've already discarded just to placate the ignorance of those we love, we lose our access to what is eternal. As we invite our palms to join the heart center today, we commit with our presence, our breath, to keep working on being true to ourselves, releasing what doesn't resonate with us, what feels like it's perhaps already dead skin, and we can release into the world, making space for the new, reconnecting with all that's eternal and true. As you visualize perhaps your mantra, your intention, in particular for today, I'll chant the Om sound. We connect, head, hands, heart together at the center. We bow in gratitude. And then we release palms, lifting the head and opening the eyes. Welcome again. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, so we are going to, as usual, gradually get into our practice. Get your pads for your knees. Some of the things we've done, and they will work in a way that as we repeat them, they get a little deeper into our bodies. Some other things will be totally new, okay? So I'm going to start with a little bit of a pad for the knees, because the first shape that we're going to take today is a modification of a child's pose, but really it's also a way to start opening the outer layers of the hips and maybe a little bit your hamstrings and glutes. So if it feels like it's a little too intense, of course you can undo it. What I'm going to do is, from the tabletop or quadruped position, bring the left knee behind the right one. So I'm crossing one leg behind the other. So when I look at it now, I have my right knee in front of the left one, right? And then we are going to open the shins a little bit to the sides, and we're going to start walking any amount that we can backwards, right? So the hands come towards your body and your hips start dropping towards the heels. They may not go super far. For some of us, they go far. For some of others, for some of us, they don't, okay? So don't worry about it. Whenever you get to the place where you feel like, okay, this is it, this is as far as I can go, maybe you can walk your fingertips a little bit away from you, so you stretch a little bit more into the underside of your arms and your armpits, and then you drop the head. And the right side will possibly be the one that you feel the most, okay? So maybe outer hip, like I said, or glute, or the hamstring. Breathe here, and let's start inviting the official Ujjayi. Good. And I'm going to add a tiny challenge. You see if this can be done or not. I'm going to try and walk the arms to the left a little bit, which will enhance the opening in the right side. So if it feels like it's super intense, you stay at the center, right? I'm just going a little bit towards the diagonal, And with my finger pads, I'm actually pushing down into the floor so I can sit a little heavier onto my hips, right, and sitting bones. And even I can even feel how my right hip is descending a little more, okay? Breathe in and out. Then we return with the arms and the torso to the center and back to the quadruped position or tabletop. Ah, I can feel it already. And then we are releasing that leg cross and coming back to the tabletop. Beautiful. Take a breath here without doing anything, just like tabletop and breathe. Super. And now we're going to switch sides. So the right leg now is going to cross behind the left one. I'm more or less pairing one knee in front of the other. And then opening the shins, we're going to start pressing back, right? Pushing. And if it's possible, maybe you walk your finger pads towards the top of the mat, just a tiny bit, and then you release neck and head. Notice the difference in sensations. Right and left sides, they usually feel different. If it feels like it's extremely intense, you can always add a padding between your sitting bones and your heels. And then we are adding that little walk towards the right side. So I'm walking hands and torso, any amount. It may be super tiny and it's okay. And with the hands now, I'm using them actually to push the floor away from me a little. So it helps me weigh down my hips and my sitting bones. And again, another breath or two. And then slowly returning to the center. And then back up to that tabletop, and we release the legs back into that usual square position, okay? When we get here in the neutral, meaning that we are not arching or rounding the spine, we are going to do those circles like we do many times. Let's press through the shins and the tops of your feet so they help you stay stable. Lift the abdomen, and we are going to the right with the pelvis, right? And the belly button facing down for 3. And 2. And down, and 1. And then I'm going to reverse it. You do the same and you go at your pace, okay? Don't rush. Remember that the breath here is affecting, right, the movement and the process of, right, the journey that we are taking. So don't rush it. After those 6, whenever you are done with that, let's push a little bit back towards the heels in this tabletop position and back towards the front. 3 of those. And 2. And 3. Good. And then the cow cat. So we do 3 also. We inhale, we arch, opening the front, widening the collarbones. We exhale and round. Inhaling, we do this, of course, very often, so we get smarter with it, right? We want to go slow, segment the spine, push the floor with the parts of your body that are touching, feeling that expansion when it comes in the front or the back, and of course, elongating the breath. Beautiful. When we finish those 3, we are back to that neutral position. And now I'm going to bring my knees a tiny bit closer to one another just for stability purposes, because we are going to press into the left shin, knee and foot, so we can do hip circles. So I'm going to lift the abdomen. In this one, again, I'm trying to keep the pelvis in a neutral position. We're going to bring the right knee up a little and send it out to the side and back and in again. 3 of those. And 2. It's not a big circle because we want the pelvis to be neutral. Good job, guys. And 3. And then we reverse it for 3. So I'm sending the knee back, out, and in. try to keep that belly engaged at most times. After number 6, I'm returning with that right knee down and maybe wiggling a little with the hips, right? Super. If you need to sit back for a second and just kind of like shake the wrists or move them around, you're totally welcome to do that if you feel like it feels a little intense there, okay? And then I'm returning and I'm going to do the left side. So same idea as before, my pelvis is in neutral. It's almost like the same thing as what I said with the pelvic circles, that we want the belly button to stay facing down. The abdomen is lifting, and I'm lifting now my right knee off the floor, and I'm starting by going out first. So 1, 2, 3. And then switching 1, 2. So I'm reversing, right? Both ways, and 3. And back down. Excellent. Good. From here, we are going to come into kneeling. And we're going to bring the right foot in front into a lunging position. Beautiful. We are going in sets of 3 today. So the tailbone is dropping and the low belly is lifting. We're going to be moving forward and back. But what I want to say is that every time we go back to the neutral, we want to make sure that we reset the pelvis in the neutral position, because when we go forward, it changes. Okay, so you can choose to have your hands on your hips. If you want to go one level up of the hands on the hips, you can go like this. Hands behind the head, elbows out, and this is of course creating a little bit more opening in the chest, but it's also forcing to work more with your core. So my tailbone is always going to be pointing down even when I move forward, and my belly is always going to be lifting even when I go forward, like I said before. Now, important here is that we want to also make sure that we are bracing the front ribs in, okay? So we don't pop the ribs. Scott, I want you to lift the chin a tiny bit. Yes, excellent. Okay, so the head is pushing into the hands a little so we don't drop the head and the head stays in line with the spine. If at any point it feels that it's unstable and you need to put your hands down, you put the hands down into your hips or your thigh, okay? Here we go. And 1, you go as far as you can, right? And back to neutral and you drop the tailbone, lift the belly. And 2, nice. And 3. Then we release the arms. We bring the right knee in. Excellent. Take a breath. We are switching sides. Left foot in front. Super. Firm the hips, drop the tailbone, lift the belly, hands either on your hips or behind the head, and we go for 3. 1, 2, front ribs in, belly up. Last one, 3. I can feel it in the hip flexors. And back. Beautiful. And sit back onto your heels for a moment. If you need a block in between the heels, you can do that. We are going to inhale, send the arms up overhead. Reach up with both arms, then interlace the fingers and press your palms up to the skies. Good. In this one again, we are going to try and brace those front ribs in. Drop the tail and lift the chin of the chest as you push the hands up to the skies. Good job, guys. Breathe. Then with the exhale, you release the arms to the sides and you're going to try and interlace fingers behind the lower back. If you can't, you grab a strap, okay? And then we move the shoulder blades into one another. Start with the elbows bent a little. Bring the head again in line with the spine. And then from there, if you can, you start extending the arms behind you towards the floor, right? Beautiful. So even though I'm creating a nice big stretch in the front of the shoulders and in the top of the chest, I want to still try and, I'm going to say, control a little bit the popping of the ribs, okay? So you bring them in. Yay. Breathe. Super. And then release the arms and shake them a little. Okay. Let's go into our little sequence that we did for the hips that we were using the mat to the side. So we're going to go together. So again, I have that padding for my knees. We are going to put the right leg out to the side. It looks like I'm doing warrior 2. We are going to firm the right hip and the right glute in, and we are going to try and make sure that the right knee stays in line with your hip, okay? So we are not letting it collapse towards the front of the mat, or I'm going to say towards the inside, but we are pushing it more towards the pinky side, okay? You can put your hands on your hips here. Remember that we are trying to keep the pelvis facing forward, okay? Tailbone down. We're gonna go sideways, back and forth for 5 this time. Here we go. 1, and back. I'm tucking the back toes because for me it's easier, okay? 2, good. Drop the tailbone, everyone. Every time you come back, you reset the pelvis, okay? 3, 4, and 5. Beautiful. We are coming back. We are switching sides, checking that the heel and the knee are more or less in the same latitude. The back toes are tucked. And now I'm really making a point in firming the left glute into my body, lifting through the front, connecting to the core. We're going for 5 here, trying to keep the torso and the pelvis facing forward. Here we go. 1, good job. And 2, resetting at the top, okay? 3, 4, nice job. Last one, 5. We are coming back. Sit back for a second if you need. 1 full breath, and then we switch. Excellent. We are back up. I'm back up, but take your time. Right leg is going to go out again, but this time we are extending the leg, like you can see. And this time we are intersecting knee to arch with the outer edge of the foot pressing down. Good. We are trying to firm that leg. What do I mean by that? That the inside of the leg, I'm going to exaggerate, but we don't want it to feel like it's collapsed, right? That's why I'm saying we press into the outer edge of the foot so the inside feels like it's like tightening up, right? Okay, beautiful. So we are doing that, but at the same time, the right glute is engaged. Excellent. I'm tucking the back toes. And now we are coming into more like of the tabletop position. So if you feel like you need the blocks here, bring the blocks and put them flat, and you put your hands on top. You know that my arms are long, so I usually don't need, depending on the shape, right? But in this one, I don't need. So the shoulders are above the wrists. And now what we are doing, keeping the action of that push into the outer edge of the foot and lifting the belly. So it's again a neutral spine. We go back towards the heel. Yes. And forward towards the tabletop. We're going to do 4 more. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Excellent. Okay, we are here already on this side, so I'm going to add the last one on this side, and then we switch for the other exercise on the other side for 2, okay? Now, instead of keeping the foot facing forward, we're going to press the heel down and the toes up. So the position of the leg is changing. Yes, Susan, good job. So I turn the toes up. My inner leg, instead of facing down, now it's like facing up, right? And as we push through that heel, again, we are firming the glutes, we are lifting the belly. Same idea as before. We push back. Yes, and forward. We are accessing, targeting different muscles. And 2, 3 more. 3, 4, and 5. Ah, nice. We come back with that right knee. We sit back for a moment. Beautiful. So now we are going to be doing 10 on the other side. First with the foot step down, pressing into the outer edge, and then with the heel, okay? So back into that tabletop position. If you want to start from there, then the left leg goes out. I'm intersecting knee with arch, pressing the outer edge down and spreading toes. Hands under the shoulders. Good, lifting the abdomen, meaning the low belly is engaged. And then here we go. 1, going back and forth. 2, of course, you go as far back as it's available for you, right? 3, Good. 4, hip flexor work. And 5. Great. When you finish number 5, now we are turning those toes up. The foot is flexed and pushing through the heel and the toes, like if I'm pushing into the gas pedal, belly up again, and here I go. 5. I'm counting backwards. 2, 4. Oh my goodness. 3, my brain. 2, and 1. Yay, yay, yay. Excellent. Then from there, we put that foot down, we bring the knee in, sit back for a moment, take a deep breath in, and a deep breath out. Super. Now, we are turning around so we can take the long of the mat as usual, and we're going to do something that you'll see in a moment. Well, I will be turning around for space, but you will need a little bit of space on your sides for this, okay? Super. Okay, here we go. From the tabletop, we are going up to down dog, and we are doing as we did before with the feet wide, okay? So widen a little bit more than your usual, press the hands down, dial the finger pads as we usually do, and we go up. First one is with the pelvis having a little bit more space. So we are going to pedal here, wiggle, of course. Give yourself a moment to push the chest into the legs. The legs are starting to engage even more than before by sending the thighs up and back, the kneecaps contracted, the inseam of your pants trying to rush backwards towards the wall behind you, and the pinky side of your hands pressing down, dropping the neck and the head. Bend and extend your legs several times. Beautiful. And you can do both together, or you can also do, one at a time. And one really good exercise here to take is to bend both knees and stay there for a moment as you keep pressing with your hands and lengthening the sides. This gives you a really nice opportunity to open up the sides of the body, dropping the head, bringing the ribs a little bit more into one another, and then trying to extend heels back and down as we keep those sitting bones really tall. Good job, guys. Take a nice breath in and out. And then we're going to walk the feet until they come together. So now my inner feet are together, my inner legs are together. And from there, we're going to inhale into plank. It's a different plank. And you're going to push through the heels, tuck the pelvis a little bit down or in, push the floor, and make sure that the upper back is wide. The inner thighs are going up. Good job, guys. Breathe. Back to down dog. Awesome. So now the game goes like this. We are going to inhale the right leg up. And with the exhale, we bring the right knee towards the elbow into a plank. We are almost touching the elbow, but we are not. Good. And then again, inhale, right leg up and back. Exhale, bring that right foot down on the back of the mat. And again, we take a plank with both legs together. And this time we exhale and we come all the way down to the floor. Super. Why? I'm going to tell you in a second. You're going to keep the left leg exactly as it is, extended with the top of the foot down. And you're going to try and bring your right leg up towards the line of your right hip. If you watch it in the camera and you can see me, you see that this leg, I took it out to the side. So it's like an L shape with my legs, okay? I know that it's kind of a challenge because not for all of us it will go into a 90-degree angle, right? You do your best. Now, after you did that, bring your arms in front of you so you can sit up a little and check what I'm doing. Super. So look, I have that right hip, right glute open to the right, of course, to the side because of the shape. But what I want to do now, and I'm going to show you with my body just so you can see it, is that this right glute, I want it to become a rock. So I'm like squeezing and I'm pushing it down to the floor. When you do that, you may feel that right hip flexor working more, like starting to like activate more, okay? So with my hand, I'm gonna show you, look, it's like if I'm pushing the butt down, but I'm not pushing it, right? It's with the weight of my own body. I'm trying to squeeze and push down that glute to the floor, okay? If you can, the outer edge of the right foot is pressing down. If not, no, because that's hard. And then we add another challenge. Can you walk your torso and your hands towards that right leg a little bit? It's like kind of like you want to go and like touch your foot, but you don't. And keep the right bottom pressing down to the floor. Nice. Then we come back to center. Awesome. And then you bring that right leg back towards the end of your mat. Oh my God, I feel it. Bring your hands below the chest, tuck your toes, and let's push. Plank, down dog. Full breath. Good. I'm going to switch just because of space. We're going to do the second side, okay? So now left leg goes up and back. Left knee to the elbow in a plank pose. Don't touch them together, but make them be super close. Then again, inhale, left leg up and back. And then you release the left foot next to the right one. Now we are inhaling into plank pose with the feet together. Nice. And then exhaling, we come all the way down. Excellent. Right leg now is going to stay as it is, but we are going to open the left leg to that 90-degree angle or anywhere in between, okay? Good. Bring the forearms in front so you have a little better support there. And now we are doing the same game. I'm going to make that left bottom super heavy. One of my teachers call it the anvil buttocks because it's like, imagine that there is like an anvil falling right into that side and it's pressing down into the floor. Okay, so you want to really squeeze there to open that hip flexor. And then we are going to try and twist a little bit. So I'm bringing the torso towards that left foot and also my arms. Like if I wanted to touch my big toe, let's say, on the left side. The side of the leg that is open, right? Yes, good job. Take a breath. Then we are coming back. We are taking that left leg back again towards the end of the mat. Hands below the chest, tuck your toes. Engage your belly, okay? Push and back to down dog. Nice. Take a full breath in. Full breath out. Then we inhale into a regular plank pose. We're going to take a vinyasa down. Then up to cobra. Take it slow if you need. Shoulder blades down the back. Good, good, good. Okay, let's exhale to a child's pose. Another breath here. And then we are going up to down dog. Full breath. Then we bend both knees, lifting the abdomen and the ribs. We look forward and hop or step or jump to the top. Good, we are taking the forward fold here. Let's grab opposite elbows today and rock a little bit side to side. Relax the head. Let the face feel soft in the skin. Good, and then we are going to bring hands to hips. Bend the knees deeply, so we are sitting kind of like low into a squat. Bring the elbows back if you can. Hands to hips, elbows up and back. Yes, Susan. And then from there, press through the heels and come up to standing. Yay. Okay, shake it a little. Full breath. Okay, good. If you have a stretchy band like this one, we're going to do something here from the standing position. Good. Super. Okay, I'm not sure that one, Scott, is going to work, but try it. Okay, I'm waiting for Susan to see. Yes, perfect. Yeah, we'll see if it works. So this one is like a stretchy one, right? That it's not tied. And what I'm doing here is to hold it in a way that I create tension when I'm opening a little bit more than my shoulders. And the game today is that I am going to hold this band at all times with the same distance. And that's going to be actually the biggest challenge because the arms will want to go wider or smaller or narrower. And I want to keep that tension at all times. So that's the first part of it. Dropping the tailbone and keeping the front ribs in and lifting the abdomen. The exercise starts from the position where my arms are up, but I don't know if you can see, I didn't change the tension that I have in my band, okay? So it's not narrower and it's not more than what I had before. It's staying there in a place that it's kind of like in between and I feel the tension in my muscles, okay? And the exercise that we do from here, keeping the head in line with the spine, is just bringing the arms behind and then back up. But I'm not changing the tension of my band. That's the game, okay? Again, 2. The tension in the band stays the same. And 3. So it's not about stretching the arms out, okay? And 4. We're gonna go for 10. Good. 5. 6. I'm going slow because I really want to keep the awareness on the tension that I have in my band, okay? I think it was 7. I don't know, I lost it. 8. 9. Oh my God, I feel it. And 10. And then release it. You can put the band and shake it a little. Okay, super. We can move the arms one on top of the other a few times. Okay, we shake it a little. And I'm going to take you into another one. Okay, I'm going to put this to the side. I'm going to take one weight, only one. And let me see. Yeah, this is kind of tough. Okay, I'm going to say 10, 15, 17. I'm at the 17 level and it's a tiny bit heavy, but this is going to be kind of new for you. So I'm going to say, don't go super heavy. I'm going to say like go into like 10, okay? So I'm going to show you first in front of me, like from the front, because it has different levels, this exercise to watch it. And then I'm going to turn around to use the mat, okay? You may want to have a pad for your knee. I'm gonna put it there so it's already there. Okay, and from the front, it looks like this. The same leg, I'm gonna start with the right. The same leg that is going to stay in front, it's the one where I'm going to have my weight, and the weight, it's going to be up. And it's going to stay up at all times. And that's going to be kind of a challenge. That's why if it's super heavy, it's gonna be tough, okay? So that's it. So my right arm, let's say if we are starting on the right, my right arm is holding the weight with my palm facing towards my body, and I'm pushing it up all the time. And my arm, like I just said, it's straight, okay? And the right leg is the one staying in the front. Then the left arm, I am going to use it as a balancer helper. So I'm going to have it on the side. You could have it on your hip. For me, it works to have it out because it's kind of like a challenge, what we are going to do, okay? So then that I showed you that, my right leg is in front, my left leg is bent, and the game goes like this. Watch it once. I'm going to come down and back up, okay? And again, back into a lunge, back up. It's a tough one, and actually I am going to, hold on, I'm going to take one out because it's a little heavy, and I want to show you something about the form that it's important. Okay, easier. So when I'm coming, so I have this, right, that I showed you, that it's on the side. I can do it like this so you see it. Okay, so when my pelvis needs to be neutral here, I cannot be here like this arch because it's going to be bad for the lower back. And then we are not working the glutes and the legs like we want, okay? So what I'm doing is holding that core and that pelvis, going back, holding that pelvis in neutral and coming back. It's not easy, okay? You can hold the hip as well. Let's go for 5 because my arm is getting tired. Here we go. And whoops, 1 and 2. Oh boy. 3, 4. Nice. And 5. Ah, and then release. Take it a little. You need to know that this is coming after my 1-hour workout. I'm teaching another class. So my body is like, what the heck? Okay. Second side, okay? We're going to go for 5. Now I'm holding the weight on my left hand. I'm pushing that arm up, so I'm holding all the time my weight up. I'm dropping the tailbone, lifting the belly, and my left leg, which is now the one that stays in front, keep it a little bit soft in the knee, okay? Yes, and the right leg is the one that is gonna go back and down, right? For the lunging position, right arm to the side or in your hip. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. You go at your pace, okay? I'm just going with my pace. And 5. Bring it down. Good. Put the weight to the side for a moment. Shake it a little. Excellent job. This is not easy. Okay, good. Here we go. Let's move around a little before we take again our props from the top of the mat. We inhale, arms up. We exhale, fold. Inhale halfway. Exhale, take plank. Stay in plank, another breath. Then we come all the way down. Stay there. We're going to do something here. Okay, now I'm going to turn to the side. Watch me if you want. I turned over my left so I can see you first, and that's it. But it doesn't matter. My underside, which is the left, the shoulder and the elbow, they are in the same latitude again, or the same place, so they are supporting each other. And your elbow, it's not only pushing down into the floor, but it's also pulling a little bit towards your ribs. This is important because it creates more engagement of the muscles there in the lateral transversus abdominals, okay? And then I will have one foot in front and 1 foot behind. So that they are not one on top of the other, but they are one behind the other because it's more supportive. And I'm going to show you what's going to happen. Don't do it yet. The start of the exercise is with the hips up. Now, there is something important that I want to show you. Don't do it yet, so you rest, okay? Because it's tiring. The movement that we are going to do, it's about always coming back to this place, which is the neutral. It's not this one, okay? You see how I'm changing? I don't want that one because that one is a different type of workout. The one that we come back to the neutral is where we are firming the muscles and working the strength. The other one is more stretchy, okay? So we want to keep this underside engaged. We are starting from that neutral position. We're going to try for 10. We're going to just tap down and back to neutral. And 2. And 3. Belly in. 4. Tailbone long. 5. 6. Good job. We are not going very far up, okay? 7. 8. Oh my God. 9. And 10. Aha. Okay, let's hug the knees in and rock a little before we switch sides. Oh boy, oh boy. Okay, I'm switching sides. Now I'm going to be over the right side, okay? Good job, guys. Excellent. We are building. Okay, right elbow under the right shoulder. I'm pressing firmly. We never want that shoulder to collapse and feel like you see like I'm doing this. No, I'm pushing the floor away. And also, yes, Susan, good job. And also not only that I'm pushing, I'm sending that shoulder back. And like I said before, that elbow is almost like pulling towards my ribs. So it stays like the muscles under there, they stay connected, okay? You saw the idea. So we know already that we have one foot in front of the other. We have one hand on top of the hip. And we are not going super high with the hips at all. We start from the point where we are already up in the neutral, okay? Not super high, but neutral. Here we go, and tap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, almost there. 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, oh my goodness. Awesome job. Let's go onto our backs and hug in and rock again. Good. We are going to, after rocking a few times, we're going to rock forward and back a few times. And then you can cross your shins to come onto tabletop. And we are transitioning to down dog. Yay, yay, we did it. Full breath in down dog. And then we are coming into a regular plank and all the way down to the floor again. Okay, it's going to sound like I'm like a broken record, but you will see that I am not. We are going to, again, extend the left leg towards the back of your mat like it is already, but stretch it. And then bring your right leg into that 90-degree like we did before. So I'm bringing that leg out to the side. Super. Again, we are going to repeat that right glute being heavy, pressing down to the floor. I'm going to change the shape a little bit, right? We start in the same place, but we add a little bit more. So we have that right glute heavy. We extend through that right leg. And now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to try and thread my left arm under the right one to go as far as I can. Good. It's again, it's like if my left fingers want to touch my right toes, even though they are not there. And then the right arm is coming up and over, and we are doing a big twist. Okay, I have the wall, so I need to move, but okay, so I'm taking that right arm over to the other side, and I'm trying to open that chest towards the right together with my belly. You can turn the head if you want as well. Breathe in. Can you keep that right glute as heavy as possible? You may not go all the way. I am not, because I can't. Good, then we come back. Yay. Okay, slowly bring that right leg back again towards the end of your mat. we are back into like the cobra, let's say, position. But keep your elbows under the shoulders, interlace the fingers, and lift into the sphinx. Good. Shoulder blades down the back. Yes, Scott, good job. And we are lifting the sternum. Breathe. Good. Then we release the forehead down. We go back to down dog. Take a full breath. Nice. And then we are going to switch sides. So feet hip distance apart. We come back to plank and all the way down to the floor. Good. Now we bring the forearms in front and we extend the right leg back. We bring the left leg out to the side, 90 degree, or whichever angle feels like you can. Okay, beautiful. Take a breath here. Make the left glute heavy. Good, and now we are going to attempt that deep twist. So I'm moving the torso like I did before towards my left foot, but I'm also bringing my right arm towards the left toes. Keep that left hip heavy and left glute heavy, and then you start turning belly, chest, and left arm towards the left. Oh, squeeze. Breathe. And then we are back towards that left leg. Good. Bring the leg back to the end of the mat. Return to your mat into a sphinx position. You can put the palms together. Good. Press the pubic bone down and lift through the sternum. Beautiful. Okay. And then we release and we go back to down dog. Let's take a child's pose from here. Sitting back and releasing for 3-4 breaths. A couple more. Super. Then we slowly sit back up and we are going to take again one of these ones, stretchy, and this one is closed. So like the one Scott had is perfect. Okay. If not, you tie it. Okay, one more exercise before we wind down today in this strength session. Okay, so I'm coming down. This is the good part that we are sitting. But the other part is I'm not sure if it's so great. Okay, so I'm going to put both my feet inside of that stretchy band. But to make it easy and to show you how the band is really going to be placed, watch, I'm going to lie down. And now I'm going to take that band to the top of my feet, meaning close to my ankles. Okay, so if you see like from the side, you see like it's, I'm holding it with my feet, right? Close to my arches. Get it? I hope. Yes. Good. Okay. So you should be able, I hope, like to have the band without having to touch it, okay? What we are doing here is that we are going to keep the knees above the pelvis. As you can see, my feet are up, of course, pressing into the band, right? And the arms, we are going to leave them up towards the skies. You can point the fingers up, of course, unless you need to grab the band, right? But from here, what I'm going to do, watch it once. What I'm going to do is First, I'm going to keep my left leg exactly as it is, but push the right one out. And then I'm coming back to that neutral. And then I'm switching the left and back. My band is the one that it's called heavy. So it's a little bit of a workout. But if you feel like yours is like super like heavy, then you change it to something easier, okay? Now, the idea is that we have the abdominal muscles engaged at all times, and we come back always to the neutral. Let's try it. Here we go. Right side, 1 and back, left and back, right for 2 and left, and 3 and 4 and 5. Beautiful. Hug the knees to the chest and rest for a moment. Ah, yay. Okay, now I'm coming back to the same shape. We are going to add 5 more, but this time my hands are going to be touching my thighs or my knees. That's it. So I keep that shape like in the neutral, okay? So I'm keeping the left leg as it is. I'm going to go right and back to tap my hand, left to tap my hand. Good. And 2. One stretches, one stays. 2. Beautiful. 3 more. 3 and 3. 4 and 4. One more and we are done. 5 and 5. Oh, yay. Let's take that band out. Hug the knees into the chest. Rock a little. Yeah, yeah. Okay, let's rock up into a seat. Good job, guys. Okay, and then I'm using my blankie. You can if you want. Use a blankie or nothing. I'm going to sit. We're going to do a little bit similar as what we did yesterday, I think. We're going to widen the legs for a little and sit tall. Good, rolling shoulders back. Take a moment here. Nice, we're almost at the end. Good, we are going to add a little twist here, bringing both hands to frame the right leg, lifting the torso, pressing through the thighs, and the feet are flexed. With your finger pads, because today I'm not going to do the fold or the other part. So with your finger pads, if you can, you help that twist so you can drag, I'm going to say the left side of your belly and your chest a little more to the right. Good job. And then soften the shoulders. Yes, breathe. Back to center we go. Good, don't sink, right? Lift from the lower back up, beautiful. Nice, and we go over to the second side. So I'm going to frame the left leg. I am not folding today in this one. And we are just lifting the abdomen, and with the finger pads, I'm trying to drag or push or pull so I can turn the belly and the chest. And then I'm dropping the shoulders. Yes. Back to center we go, slowly. Yay. And now, yes, if you want, you bring blocks or support, we're going to add the fold, but only in between, okay? So we walk a little further. Maybe for some of us, the elbows are getting there, maybe not. Bring the blocks or the props, pillows, anything that you have. We are pushing. Wait, I want to say something. We are trying to actually create a little bit of an internal rotation with the legs. It's not very much because it's hard to do it, but just a little bit of the insides coming down. And then your sitting bones, it's almost like they are going out, right? And then you bring yourself to the fold. Good. Put the support. I am trying to press and push through my heels. And then we bring ourselves back. Excellent job, guys. We bring the knees towards one another slowly. Oh, yeah, yeah. Extend the legs in front and wiggle a little. It's going to get better as we go. And then let's come onto our backs. Excellent job, both. Hug in, rock. Do a little massage in your lower back. Good. And let's do one bridge to open the front. Press through the feet, parallel. Make sure that you feel steady on those feet and the shoulder blades are moving in. Extend the arms alongside the torso. Only one, okay? It's not long. Press firmly, lift hamstrings and glutes. Wiggle the shoulder blades a little closer. Feel that stretch and opening in the front as you engage those glutes like the anvils that I said before. So squeeze. And out slowly. Beautiful. Let's touch the edges of the mat with the feet. Open your arms into cactus or T, and then let's do the windshield wipers. We are done now. Okay, nice. As you come back to the center or neutral, if you want, you give yourself one more hug with the knees or one happy baby, and we release into our well-deserved rest.